Now, let's say you're a mechanic and you got need. I heard a lot of this. A lot of guys, need help in shops because not a lot of guys are good with mechanic stuff anymore. Well, guess what? These schools need equipment to practice on. So if you're a junkyarder and you've got 8 different cars that are doing absolutely nothing, donate them to the school because now they have a piece of working equipment that they can work on from top to bottom, and it's a tax write-off.
Welcome back, everyone. Yes, it's another episode of Hard Hat the CEO, and I have a guest here all the way from New York. I can hear it in his voice, and you can probably hear that I'm not from New York, and that's Andrew Bolton. Andrew
Yes,
is the CEO of Tech Rescue. Welcome, Andrew.
Thank you for having me.
Not a problem. Andrew, give a quick synopsis of your company, what you do, and then we'll get into our podcast.
Fantastic. So Tech Rescue is a 24-hour customer support hotline for technology. We handle everything from Bluetooth to computer problems to printer problems. You call us anytime you need us, 24/7, 7 days a week, even open on Christmas and the Super Bowl. And we'll be right there. No mazes, no chatbots, no robots, no press 1 for English, 2 for Spanish. No, you pick up the phone, you get a real person here in the United States, and you get to speak to somebody real. You get to speak to a real person to solve your problems when you need it. I know, right? Such a concept.
Well, that's important. They're getting an AI where you can sometimes hard to tell who's who and what you're talking to. But
oh gosh, it has gotten so bad. I get emails from companies that are, constantly looking to see, how we can optimize your operations with chats, your sales with chats, your company with AI. And I say to every single one of them, we don't do AI. We're real people. When you have a problem, let's say your car breaks down or your insurance policy or your credit card, how long does it take you to get to a real person? How long does it take? We could be at this, for 15, 20 minute hold times. And then you get the voice, did you say, or can I help you with? And you're just yelling at your phone. No, call us up. You get a real person, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And we solve your problem right then and there. Because when you need help, that's what you want. You want help.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's crazy how this has become a premium service. I got told by somebody that I'm a premium service. I said, how is that premium? Help is not premium.
Well, we're trained today to expect it that way.
I know.
And, they even give you options. Well, if you want faster service, go online. Well, I hate going online.
I called you. I'm here. I'm at your door.
Now, I do appreciate the companies that say, listen, we'll call you back. You don't have to wait online. We'll call you back. I like those.
Yep.
I wish other companies would realize that that's important to people like us, that, we ain't got time to be listening to y'all's background music or anything like that. And
it's awful background music, isn't it?
Oh, no, yeah, it's not even good. So anyway, no, I appreciate them calling me back, but it's even better talking like you, talking to you guys and having the real person online.
Well, the company started with my grandma and my dad. My grandma was always calling me for help with Facebook, with Instagram, because we have a big family. We're Irish. So, we're in New York, we're Irish. We have a lot of cousins and they have kids now. And I got nieces and nephews and everybody's posting everything online. And, and my grandmother, God bless her, 97 years old, still wants to be part of it,
Sure. She wants to see the pictures and everything.
Yep. And, sometimes she likes a picture and she wants it printed out. She doesn't know how to do it. So she calls us up and you got to go over there. And if you think about it, it's 1 hour to 2 hours to solve a problem. Easy peasy problem. It's 1 hour to 2 hours because you get there. It's hello, kissy. Are you hungry? Do you need to eat something? Nah, Grandma, I'm fine.
Sit down here. Let's talk to me. Yep.
Yeah. And next thing you know, I got a plate in front of me and, it's Grandma. So you got a plate in front of you. You're not going to not eat.
Exactly.
And next thing you know, it's 1 hour, 2 hours later. And all right, what do you need to do? And it's like 15 minutes worth of work. And then getting in is not as hard as getting out.
That's right.
Because when you go down the lobby at the retirement community, she's got to introduce you to everybody. Again, I just saw these people last week. This is my grandson, Andrew. And it's like, yes, hi, Dolores. Hi, Mary. Hi. She has her table for lunch and dinner and breakfast that she has. So
Mhm.
we have Dolores, we have Mary, and we have Bethany, and then my grandmother. And this is her table. I have to meet with everybody all over again. And now I can leave.
When we started, before we got recording, actually, I asked you, so what are we going to get today? What are we going to talk about to my listeners? Obviously, that's what we're here for. And you made a comment about, we want other people to realize and think about other ideas. And I
Yep.
think that's important from, going from hard hat to CEO. We talk about, I talk about having a money tree, which is your business, but I want you to have an orchard of money trees, having different streams of income.
So for your listeners, so let's get to it. So my background is my father was a carpenter and a painter. And when I went to school, I went to college, and that was kind of a roundabout way of a little bit of loss of time. If I was to look back on it now in 2011, when I graduated college, I probably could have gone into welding, electrician, plumbing, and then did 4 years as an apprentice, taking my apprentice test, become a journeyman, do that for a couple of years, get my master license, and then maybe branch out on my own. Now,
and make damn good money.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Currently, when I left my current industry, which is concrete, I'm a concreter, I'm a mason. I liked bluestone and block. I really liked block. I was making $32.50 an hour when I left.
And what year was that?
That was about a year and a half ago.
Okay.
Now, to support the company, I've done, small, patios, bluestone, paved driveways, things like that, paved walkways. It's about a couple days worth of work, and it feeds the meter and it keeps us going. So to all you guys out there wearing hard hats and, still lacing up them boots, is that take a step every now and then and just think about what it is that you do on an everyday, where we need to look at money as like the ocean, right? You can stare at it all you want, but unless you're going to put it in your pocket, you need a cup or a bottle. And how big of a cup or a bottle is up to you. There's money out there, boys. There's a lot of money out there. Now, I know, up at 4, out by 5, on site by 6, swinging hammers by 7. I get it. Where do you find the time? Well, the question is, how much you want your life to change? How much you want something to be different? You got to do something that you've never done before to get something that you never had before. And it's a process. You sit there, you think about it. Tech Rescue fellas came to me when my dad walked into the kitchen after a hard day and said, "How do you forward an email?" And I looked at him and I looked at my mother and I went, "You got to be kidding me." And all of a sudden it just happened. Mentality state is the hardest thing for us, right? Because we get on a job site, our head is on that thing and we're not thinking about anything else, right? Maybe you got your old lady bothering you, you got your kids with everything. So it's hard to let serendipity, if you will, kind of like come into the fold. You got to take some time out and just think, just let your brain stop and the idea will come. Now, what to do next? Well, with technology now, there are so many things that we can do. For example, you have an idea. Go on ChatGPT, the AI thing that everybody's talking about. This is the internet in human form in a way, right? This knows everything about everything about everything. Space exploration, what size bra, Angelina Jolie wears. It knows everything, everything. So tell the thing your idea. How do I make this a business? And
Never really thought about asking that. Now you got my mind somewhere else. All right, keep going now. All right, we're gonna bring it back home.
Put your idea there. How do I make a business? And now comes an idea. Oh, I could do that. I don't know how to do that. I can do that. I don't know how to do that. All right, the stuff you don't know how to do, ask it how to do it, and it'll teach you. You want to build a schematics? It'll build you a CAD level schematics of anything you want. You don't believe me? Go on ChatGPT and ask it how to build a 30 by 30 bluestone deck with, I don't know, 2-inch stone, 4 by 4. Guess what? It'll print you out the schematics. It'll tell you where you can get it in your local area and what the current market price is. Build me a business plan. Boop, there you go. So there's no excuse. There's no excuse for anybody out there. I don't know how to do it. This thing just told you how to do it.
Yeah, that's true.
And guess what, fellas? I'm living proof.
I'm going to tell you. Well, I have the podcast. I have other construction businesses, and I have little. Anyway, so that's how I started. Actually, on some things, I don't like painting. You say about your dad being a good painter. I despise painting, but it was paying the bills at one point. I didn't know how to bill it. I was like, okay, so I googled it. It's like, how do you estimate what the charges are? And it just poof. I was like, okay, well, I figure everybody else is doing the same thing, so that's how I charge the people. And so I had a that's a long time ago, but then I had at the point where I don't like painting, so I hired a painter, and very fairly priced. And I'm not saying that Google's price are not fair, but the point was he was a little less than others. Like, okay, still get to work. It's like, all right, well, I'm going to use you. So now he's wisened up too, because I noticed his prices go up. Because then I said, well, he's up in price. I'm going to compare him to other guys, and they damn near come in within the dollar of being the same. And I know they went to, everybody's doing the same thing, which is fine. That's what you have to do. That's the market. But he realized he wasn't making as much money as he could. He Googled it. It said, here's what you should charge, what everybody else is charging. And all of a sudden, now he's making more money with the same amount of work.
What made my dad successful was my dad, for his birthday, my mom paid for him to go to the college near us, Ramapo College. And they had a painting, art class.
Right.
And my father learned how to do a sponge technique.
Yeah.
So this was back in the early 2000s. Nobody did this yet, especially in the North Jersey, New York City area. So my father mastered somehow this sponge technique so that when the sunlight came through windows, what you saw was a white wall. All of a sudden, you just saw silver and like these patterns, and it was beautiful. Nobody was doing it. My father was the only one in the area for about 50 miles that was doing it. Guess what?
Yeah.
He was doing everybody's house. Find a niche. Find one little thing that you are the master of, and believe me, people will look for you.
That's a good story right there. Did he charge you a little more? Over time, I guess.
Yeah, he charged a little bit more, but it wasn't anything overly exorbitant, right?
Right. Like he wasn't like crazy about it, but yeah,
But guess what? People started coming into other people's houses and holidays and birthdays, and oh my God, your house looks fantastic. Who did it? Oh, Paul Bolton, painting, etc. Painting, etc. And my dad's phone would just be blowing up, and he would be jumping from one site where he had two guys working for him, and he'd be doing estimations, and he'd be running back and forth. Now, our story is a little bit more tragic. It's a lot of stories like a lot of guys. The Jack Daniels took a hold of a lot of things, So, that kind of went south. So I didn't have a company to, work for dad and then take over and kind of things. He kind of burnt it to the ground, unfortunately. It's a sad story that a lot of guys have,
Sure.
But the lessons I learned from that, led me into concrete and, block and stone. And, but I realized that, okay, there's money in different ways of getting it if you just find something that you're good at. And this Tech Rescue just popped into serendipity, and we just ran with it at full speed.
How do you advertise Tech Rescue?
So I tried doing it on my own, and then I was asking for help. A friend of mine's girlfriend works in a marketing company in New York City, and she was just spitting out these words that made no sense: SEO, Google Analytics, back-end pages, this, that. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And she goes, oh, you need to have these links, these backlinks, these back pages. You need to have these keywords, these keyword searches, these hashtags, this, that. I'm like, lady, I just want this advertised. I just want this on YouTube. I just
want people to call me. Yeah.
Like you're speaking Japanese to me. I have no idea what you're saying. So my mom got me a couple of books and I read them. And one of the things that Jack Welch was saying in one of his books is that if you don't know something, hire somebody that does. The way to be a CEO and run your business is you can do a lot of stuff in the beginning, but you can't do everything. You're going to have to hire people. And this is the key important thing. You hire people that love what they do and are good at it. So I don't do marketing. I don't do sales. So we've made enough money where I've hired a marketing team and I've now hired a sales team to do what they like and are good at. I don't touch this because I don't like it. I don't like doing it. So why am I going to do something that my business depends on that I don't like doing? Now, there's a lot of different options out there. You can go searching on Google, you can go ChatGPT, or you can go on Fiverr, Fiverr.com, and it's an open marketplace of everybody, site developers, marketers, salespeople, whatever. You know, if you don't like drawing schematics and you don't like laying out blueprints, you can find somebody on there that does it.
Yeah.
And guess what? That's your guy. Get his phone number, his email address. So every time you get a new client, boom. What, $175 to do a SCAD drawing? Send it out to him. And you bill that into your client and you build that into your bill.
Sure.
And now you're making money. And now you have a partner because you do more, he does more. And guess what? Now you have somebody on your team. Now it's two. You don't like building a website? They got somebody for that. Now you got somebody building your website while you're at work. Here's what I say to all you guys out there. If this sounds interesting, I know money's tight and I know food is expensive and I know diesel fuel is through the roof. Guys, I know. Believe me, I know. Just start putting a little bit in a cup. Just a little bit in a cup. Like if you open up your wallet, you got like $6, a 5 and a 1. Boom, throw that in the coffee can. Just start adding it. Just start adding it up. It will eventually help so that when you have that big coffee pot, then you go to the bank, you have that coffee pot full of money. You say, I want to open up a bank account. The first step you want to do is you want to go on to LegalZoom.com, get an LLC out of Montana, Wisconsin, or Delaware. It's like $150 to set it up. And I think it's like $35 a year. Now you have an LLC. Now you go to the bank. You have a whole bunch of cash in your coffee cup. Say, this is my bank account. This is my tax ID. This is what I got. And now your money's in a bank account. Keep doing the same thing. Now you got like what? Maybe over the next 6 months, maybe you got $2,000, $3,000. Now you can start maybe planning out things. Now you can like, okay, I got this amount. I got that. I got this. I got these people doing this. All right. How do we move forward? Well, ChatGPT. Ask it how to do it. Ask your market. All right. If you're a brick guy, if you do block and brick, this winter has been awful. Awful. The wind has been awful. Roofs have gotten ripped to shreds up by me. Bricks look like garbage. People are going to have a lot of water problems in the North Jersey and the Northeast tri-state area for New York City. A lot of people are going to have some water problems because the bricks look like crap. The chimneys are shot to crap. So when that rain does finally come in the next month or two, fellas, this is your opportunity to start being your own roofer, being your own brick guy, being your own plumber guy. All right. We've had a really, really cold winter. So guess what? People's heaters are probably shot to crap. Boilers are probably shot. Water heaters are shot. Guess what? Now you can make your move. Start planning now. You want to start a lawn business. You don't need much. A weed whacker, some batteries, a Ryobi or a DeWalt, Milwaukee, whatever your choice is. Get a lawnmower, get a blower, get a rake, get a shovel, get a broom, and get a weed whacker. Boom, done. And some hedge trimmers. Start small. Don't be thinking grand things. Start small, like your neighbor's backyard or your mama's backyard. Start small. And guess what? You want to grow? Get a couple of college kids. Hey, guys, you want to make some extra bucks over the weekend? Here are my tools. Now, mind you, you got to have kids that you can trust.
Yeah, trust.
But you don't really trust them. You make sure you go out and watch them too.
Yeah.
But my point is, start small.
Put a sign in the yard when they're mowing the yard.
Yep.
Now, sometimes people let you leave it. Sometimes you got to take it with you. That's okay.
Some towns have ordinances like white collar.
See, I'm out here in Missouri in the country, so we don't have as much of that type of stuff in the. But I know what you're talking about.
We're in the uptight part of the country.
I got you.
We're in the uptight part of the country.
Yeah.
And guess what?
I have to have permits too, the mow yards, don't you? Oh, yeah.
In certain districts. Now, for example, in Westchester County, which is just over the Tappan Zee or the Andrew Cuomo Bridge, I'm never calling it the Andrew Cuomo. I don't give a crap. I'm never calling it the Cuomo. It's the Tappan Zee. It's been the Tappan Zee Bridge for over 30 years of my life. I'm calling it the Tappan Zee. I'm not calling it the Cuomo. It's over in Westchester County. They do not allow gas-powered anything. So it has to be electric. And the only time that you're allowed gas is in April and December. Yeah.
And I guess when they're driving cars. Are they good? Yeah. I don't know.
I did a job. I did a job in Yonkers. I got a $600 fine for using a gas-powered demo saw.
Does Milwaukee make a demo saw?
No, Rigid does. Rigid makes
it. Yeah?
Yeah, and it's a piece of crap. It's an absolute piece of crap. After one major job that I did, we built a 30-foot retaining wall because the house was on the slight slant of this big hill. After one retaining wall, 30 feet high by 15 feet wide, the big battery and those little copper prongs were shot to shit. Because dust and everything got into it, and it's like, and you try to clean it with the brush and you try to do the best you can. It's a battery.
And it's masonry dust too. So it's like got gridded and stuff. Yeah.
It's a battery. These things are not meant to take these kind of beatings.
No. You know, you mentioned earlier, for example, mowing yards. And that's important. And if for listenership that's down, say, in the southern United States where you mow yards year round, you got to think about if what are you going to do in the off season, or you got to plan cash flow wise to prepare for that. And those are things you got to think about as a business owner, as a CEO. Your cash flow. A lot of companies fail the first couple of years just in not thinking about that type of stuff. So think about your cash flow, how that's going to handle, or how you're going to subsidize reinvestment, whether it be back in your own company or to other things. Well, because those batteries, like you said, they're not going to last.
No. And the beautiful thing about the people that we talk to and the people that you have on your shows is that we know our markets. We know what we do. So for me, right, the mason work from November to about March is very iffy. Cold, wet, snow.
Depends on the day.
You know that this is your dead season. You know that. You've been doing this for how many years? You know where your dead zones are. I know a lot of guys that gave up plowing because we haven't had the snow up in New Jersey. We haven't had the snow. So the problem is let's say you've gotten your plow contracts, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of these companies keep forgetting that a snow plow contract is an insurance policy, right? You pay per month, and if it snows, I plow. A lot of them are like, well, it didn't snow, I want my money back. No, that's not how this works.
No.
So I know a lot of guys that got tired of doing this, and every winter, one guy in particular, Richard, he and his old lady bought a trailer. They bought like one of these big homes and the trailers. He's got a big 1,500 Denali. He's got the big thing. He goes down at the end of Thanksgiving, packs up the kid, the kids off at college, his old lady, the dogs and everything. They pack up, close down the house, and he goes down to Florida and he does trees. He does trees and rebuilding and patios and decks, and he hasn't come back up yet because of the hurricane. He's running around like a madman.
We have a few clients on my digital company side that are asphalt contractors, and they'll he's in Massachusetts, and he's got a cousin that's in, I guess he's in Massachusetts too. And then they do asphalt there, but then they go down to Florida and do asphalt. It's amazing to me because that's a big equipment type thing. And they just move down there and then they come back up and they continue on. And
a lot of guys do that because it's cheap, because it's cheaper to move the entire company. All right, so you got an asphalt company, right? You got a paver, you got a roller, you got guys, you got cool. So basically, you can get both your rollers and a presser on two long flatbeds, right?
Yep.
and you can load up, let's say not a 45 footer, but you can load up a 30 footer full of your equipment, your tools and stuff like that. So a 3-truck convoy plus your guys that want to go, and you get down to Florida, you got guys willing to work. All you got to do is set up at a motel in a central region. You're done.
There you go.
And guess what? Over the years, you've probably made contacts that you could have a yard to store everything at to do your jobs.
Mm-hmm.
So you're paying your yard fee every year, every month, or every week, or whatever you have it as. Your motel, your food, and running your operations. Basically, all you've done is just transport the whole operations to warmer weather. And when it's all said and done, pack everybody up and head on home.
And that's exactly what they do.
But guess what? When you're down in Florida, you also can expand your business too. Now, here's a tool. Here's an interesting thing. How many of you guys out there have forgotten to start grease the excavators and grease all the equipment from last week? Yeah. I know y'all have. I know y'all have. Don't even nod your heads. Y'all are lying to yourselves. How would you like to be the guy that for $20 an hour goes to every job site in the area and greases everybody's equipment?
That's their job. But better yet, I'd like to be the guy that has guy go grease equipment for somebody else.
Got to start somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. You just grow it.
Think of it this way, right? You got a Bobcat 250. How long does it take you to grease up a Bobcat 250?
Actually, I have a Bobcat 250. I don't know, 10 minutes or less. I mean, it depends on what you got, what kind of attachments you have. But you got at least 6. I think there's 8. I'll let my boys do it, but there's 8.
There's 8 nipples that you can see really easily.
Yeah.
There's about 8 nipples you can see easily, and there's about 7 that are like really tucked in, right?
You gotta know where they're at. Yeah.
So here's what you do. You buy yourself a small electric or a battery powered, or even a small little preferably a small gas powered power washer. Get anti-degreaser and get Dawn dish detergent and mix it in there with the anti-greaser. Blast that SOB down, get it all nice and crispy, sud it up, because you look good when you sud up the Bobcat. Rinse it off. You're not drying this thing, you're not waxing it, just blast it, rinse it, get like one of your dipsticks or get a couple of metal sticks, shave them down, scoop out around the gunk, take it out, grease it up, blast it one more time because you got gunk on it. Blast it, sud it, rinse it, boom, on to the next one. You could probably do somebody's entire yard in about 3 hours, right? So if you start your day off at 8, that's 3, that's 11. You get another one, have lunch at around 1 or 2, and do another yard. That's 3 yards a day at $20 an hour or whatever you want to charge. Guess what? Guys need to have their machines taken care of because they know their guys on the yard ain't doing it.
You could actually even, because they don't want to pay for a full-blown maintenance crew or just a guy that does maintenance. Maybe if they're huge, big contractors, that's a whole different story. But, and
this is also knowing you're
talking. I was thinking, you got me thinking now. I was like, ooh, you change oil there, and some of those, talking about equipment, it's not that easy to change the oils, and who wants to fool with it? Or you got to get the cab off or whatever. But you can do that. So many hours.
You can escalate. You can escalate your services based off of who you get, right? But I'm just talking about simple, easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Yeah, just greasing. Yeah.
Yep. Load up. Go on Amazon. Get the 6-pack of Red Wolf. The 6-pack of Red Wolf for $29.95. Right? What, a CAD machine is going to take what? Maybe 2 cans, 3 cans? So that's 3 cans of machine. So that's 2 machines right there, $29.95 plus shipping and handling, or Prime, you have it for free, whatever. Get a couple of them boxes. You've been saving up, right? You've been putting money in the coffee can. Get a couple of them boxes. Get the Milwaukee electric gun, because you don't want to be squeezing this thing all day. You want the electric gun. You're moving.
You can get them on sale for $100.
And you don't even have to brand new. You can go on Facebook and get one used for like $30.
Probably so. I never really looked for them, but yeah.
Guess what? $30 plus $100 worth of material. Guess what? At $20 an hour, you made your money, and then maybe a 40 to 50% return on the day on your first day.
No, that's
I just got you thinking.
It don't even have to be. We talk about, a lot of my listeners are already construction guys, so they haven't really started out. But but if you're wanting to expand your business,
And guess
and
what? You can make a cool looking
that's
shirt, the Grease Crew.
yeah, just send
Slip
those
and
guys out. You got friends, they know
Billy,
they don't. Yeah,
Billy's Slip and Slide, Grease Crew. We slip
yeah.
on in and we slide right on out.
It don't even have to be other contractors. How many people we know use equipment like that who don't have the time or don't? Now I'm really, you
Who
got
doesn't want
plumbers.
to do it? I don't want to do it.
Yeah, no.
Are you kidding me? I now need to go all the way to the other side of the yard, get the excavator, put it out to the open, extend out the arm, put down the bucket, climb all over this damn thing, grease the bucket, grease the arm, grease the joist, make sure that everything's fine. Oh, look, now we need new treads. We need blah, 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 blah. Like this thing. No, I don't want to do it. I'll pay somebody $20 an hour to do this.
And it's typically cheaper. Well, you're coming to the site. We're going to this rabbit hole here, but we're going to come back out of it here just a minute. But you're going to the site. So how many of those dealerships, go to the site and only on emergencies? And when they do, they charge out the wazoo, like 3 times their rate.
Oh, Cat will send somebody out. Caterpillar.
Oh, they'd be happy to.
Bobcat will send somebody out, but you're going to pay $350 for them to come out.
Yeah, 3 times what they charge in the shop. I don't know about over in New York, but we're getting $120 an hour in shop, and I know we're in Missouri, but the point being is they're going to charge about 3 times more to come out to that place.
Yep.
And I'm not saying you need to become a technician or nothing, but the maintenance side, swap out tires. I mean, you could get creative, like you said, increase as you go, increase your services, and then as you grow, you can increase your employment to handle more. Like all kinds of things you can do. Now, that's just another stream of income.
Now, one of the things that is going to be a problem that we're going to address right now is help. We got crap help.
How do you recommend overcoming that?
I say that we got to start from the beginning. We got to throw out this textbook that we all been using and start all over again because it ain't working. It ain't working. I got guys. I'll admit, my last job site was about a year ago. But the kid put his hand on the demo blade guard and then started it up. Now, grant you, the blade didn't turn, but I'm telling you,
I know.
I saw a kid take a welding torch and look at it and try to light it. It's not working. Yeah, keep going, bro. You'll find out.
Well, we used to have, when I was in school, we used to have, what they call it, industrial arts classes.
Yeah. So
they don't have it no more. Well, at least in my school, they don't. Or the high school.
There's no shop classes in school. So here's what we do. You now have to help. Everybody here has to help because this is the only way it's going to change. Find out your local TDI or your local industrial school, right?
Yep.
Go up to that school, hand off some pamphlets, say, hey, listen, I got a little company. I need people. I'm willing to, work with these kids. This is what I do. Hand them what a list that you do on whatever you do, because these schools, they make money by job placement. Why would I pay $15,000 to learn how to weld when I'm not going to get a job afterwards?
Mm-hmm.
You give these schools an opportunity to show that I have this work. I need these people. They will push these people into your world because their reputation is on the line. Now, let's say you're a mechanic and I heard a lot of this. A lot of guys, need help in shops because not a lot of guys are good with mechanic stuff anymore. Taking apart. Well, guess what? These schools need equipment to practice on. So if you're a junkyarder and you've got 8 different cars that are doing absolutely nothing, donate them to the school because now they have a piece of working equipment that they can work on from top to bottom, and it's a tax write-off. You got sitting there, what, you think Billy Bob's coming over to buy your 27 Studebaker? Nah, it ain't happening. Your 1940s Peterbilt, you think that's moving? No, it ain't. That's going to sit there for the next 20 years, maybe even longer.
And I knew a guy that would take, when we had the auto body at the tech school, and they would take older cars there and have them fix it up. Now, they still had to pay for it. I mean, I think they paid for the parts, as I recall. And the kids had something to work with, and then they turn around and sell the damn thing. And bring them another one. Like, here we go, boys. And that's, just thinking outside the box type things.
But this is how you get kids. How are they going to learn when they don't have anything to learn on?
Yeah. Now we do this around here. Now you got to be a senior in high school. or you gotta have somebody I forget. I think you maybe be able to do it as a junior on the last part of your year, but you had to have so many credits and so forth. And then they'd let them go work half a day.
Oh, that's not bad.
No, and then so you can go get senior high school. I mean, somebody that wants to work, doesn't want to go to school. They know that that's not their path, and then they come in and actually, you train them on site and you teach them what's going on, and sometimes that's good, sometimes it's bad. Don't get me wrong, there's pluses and minuses, and everybody's different. I mean, you could talking about your technician coming out of the trade school, you get a bad one too. It just happens.
Yeah,
but,
of course.
But no, it's just who you want, what you want, what you can afford, what you're willing to tolerate. I believe I'm a big believer in profit sharing, and I believe that those who feel like they're part of the company will do a better job for you than those who just say, I'm just coming in and do my job and go home.
So
and there's different types. We ain't gonna get into that profit sharing detail side, but that's, in my opinion, making part of the company.
I agree, and now that things are starting to look up for us, there's a whole bunch of people, and I'm making sure that I'm putting safety nets underneath them, that they don't have to worry about nothing.
Well, you got to make a profit. There's profit share. So yes.
Here's what I have to say to any business owner listening, is that you could do one of two ways. You could squeeze every last dollar out of everybody you want, but I promise you're going to have a retention problem. Guys don't want to work for somebody that feels like they're just squeezing every last ounce out of them. That's not a good job site. You've been there. I've been there. We've all been there. We've worked on those jobs.
Yeah. And you get to thinking, well, I can do this myself. And they go out and start their own business.
Exactly.
And that's okay too. I mean, we're all here I told somebody the other day, there's a lot of work out there for everybody.
My thing is this.
Yeah.
Why have a feast when you eat alone?
That's a good point.
What's the point of a feast when you're eating by yourself? Isn't that lonely?
I would think so.
When you give back to everybody, you're going to get people loyal to you that will break their backs for you. I had a boss, Mark Brickman, one of my first bosses. Extra shift hours, I did. Calling on a Saturday, did. Sunday emergencies, night shift, did. That man needed me, I was there. Because whenever I needed something, believe it or not, he actually bailed me out. I got into a bar fight. It was over a girl, and I was afraid to call my mom.
Yeah.
Because my mom would have taken a brick in a sock and beat the dog crap out of me.
Oh, hell, I'd have said they won't let me out, so you just leave me here because I don't want my dad to come. No. And I want to stay right here.
You keep that
where I'm safe.
And I called my boss, and he bailed me out. I didn't get a paycheck for 2 weeks because I had to pay him back. But guess what? My mom never found out.
I hope she's listening. So.
Oh, she found out eventually.
Oh, I know. I'm just giving you.
Oh yeah, that story came out a long time ago, but
they know.
But when you give back to your people, and this was actually the best lesson I learned when I started the company, is somebody asked me, "What's your number?" Like, what do you mean? What's your number? Like, what do you need to go fishing every day? I like sea fishing. So if I can do this, I have a number in my head. It's not a big number, it's a number. But once I get past that number in my own personal bank account, I don't care whether this company is $1 billion or whatever company. I'm out fishing, I'm having a Corona, I'm enjoying myself, and I don't need much. So the question that you have to ask yourself is, what do you need to be happy? Because everything else after that is just bragging.
In the course I teach contractors, we talk about what do you want and what you really want, and everybody's different.
Yeah.
But you really got to think about it. And then the most important question of all that is why.
I'll share for everybody. I'm not embarrassed by it. I originally said in my mind was $3 million. Now, if you think about it, $3 million. Well, if you think about it, for the rest of your life, you're working till about 70. You're going to make about, if you saved up and you invested your money in the market and stuff like that, you'll make somewhere around about $3 million when it's all said and done, right? Give or take, right? My grandmother told me that at $3 million at a 5.69% 30-year annuity, right? I'm making somewhere in the neighborhood of about $11,500 a month just to wake up and go fishing. If you have a lifestyle that's over $10,000 a month, you're living above your means. And when I say that by like, now, mind you, mortgage, car, things like that, you pay that stuff off, right?
You're talking about, yeah, I follow you. No.
You pay all that stuff off, right?
Mhm.
Now you owe nobody anything except for the taxes and the school tax and the property taxes and your cell phone and everything else, right? If everything is paid for, your house, your car, your wife's car, the kids, the college, whatever, all that's taken care of. If you're going above $10,000 in spending, there's something wrong with you. Because how many trucks do you need? How many cars you need? How many bikes you need? How many boats can you have? Right? At a certain point, you're just spending money and you're not doing anything. So my saying is this:
Mhm.
when it's all said and done, I'll be walking away, hopefully, cross my fingers, with $11,000. You're telling me I can't go down, I can't be off of, I can't be off of Tampa Bay in a little boat, a little 15-footer out on the Gulf Coast, deep sea fishing every day in the morning till the afternoon, come home, take a nap, maybe, go for a bike ride, work on a car in the garage. I don't need a mansion. I don't want a mansion. I don't want to pay those property taxes. I want a nice little house, 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, and a garage that I can, just pucker around in. That's it. That's all I want to do.
And that's okay. And some people want more, and some people want less.
The point is that you got to know what you want. So you have to have that conversation with yourself. What it is that makes you happy and what do you want to do for the rest of your life? And then, because the biggest problem is with business is they don't have an exit strategy. You get into this thing and next thing you know, you have no idea where you are.
You got to know going in. Now that can change. And I'm not saying change is bad because your philosophies change over time.
Oh God, yes.
But you have to have you should have an idea. So you're setting yourself up to what's your plan for this business? Is it to sell it? Is it to retire from it? Or whatever, or hand it down to your
kids.
Yeah. I mean, who knows? But, and that kid thing is great, but it don't always work the way you want it to too. So
no. And what you could do with that is let's say you got somebody on your team that's been with you the whole entire way, been with you, you send them out on themselves. That job's done by the end of the day and you don't even have to go check their work.
Yep.
Offer that man a piece of the company, and then when the time comes, have him buy it out from you with a 10-year projection that he pays you royalties every month plus profit, and after 10 years, he gets the whole thing himself.
And you're just sitting back, and he's taking care of it.
Taken care of. There's a lot. See, our biggest problem, I think, in this country is that we have become, and this is just my opinion, this is just me talking, I think we've become jumbo size on everything, meaning that I just can't have a house. I need to have Duck Dynasty house. I just can't have a boat. I got to have a 3-engine boat. I just can't get a Ford or a Chevy. I just need to have this thing jacked up, big tires, an LCAS motor in it. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm not like, listen, if you're one of them cats out there and you've spent $50,000 on a $35,000 truck, hey, listen, man, if that's what makes you happy, buona fortuna. God bless. But if you're starting this journey and you're thinking about what life is, I'd suggest you really think about what it is that you do in your everyday. Are you that person, or are you just you and you just do you? Now, believe me, doing you and having money to do it and not have to worry, that is a heck of a feeling.
Oh, yeah. And I think about, people win the lottery and what kind of car would you want? And I'm not that type of person. I wouldn't want a car, but I'd want a truck. But I'm not sure I find as a business person that automobiles are not an asset by no means. They're a liability and they depreciate. And I might feel differently if I had the money to go out and give you $70,000 for a vehicle or even $100,000. It's like, I could buy. Well, you take that money, and then you leverage it at the bank if you don't have the rest of it. How many rental properties could I buy for that?
Yeah.
100,000 could get me at least $1 million.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I got something that's different than rental properties. I got a different thing. Up in the tri-state area here, we have a problem. We got a land problem. We got a real problem. So if you own a piece of property, a large piece of property,
yeah,
you now have a yard that you can rent to different contractors, and that's real money. Because there's not a lot of places anymore. There's not. What?
Like for their equipment?
Yep.
No kidding.
Oh, we have a serious problem up here in the tri-state area. We have a very serious problem. For example, if you're an excavator company, you've probably got a Cat 750 or a 740.
Oh, yeah. You're gonna need something.
That's a big boy. I hate to say it, but you ain't parking that in your backyard.
So what do they do now? So if you're building, you got to bring it in, I assume, from out of state. Now, for me down here, out of state is like, that's hours. For you guys up there, out of state might be an hour, or depending on where you're coming from. Yeah, but go ahead.
So if you're let's say an excavator company, you've got probably a Cat 740 or 730. You've probably got a couple of Bobcats. You got some skid steers, and you've probably got maybe 1 or 2 dumpers, and let's say 3 or 4 heavy duty pickups. You ain't parking that in your driveway. Plus, you probably got a long trailer because you got the big boy. You got the big boy 7.
You got to haul it somehow, yeah.
And you probably got a rig because you need a rig to pull that bad boy.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you storing it? You ain't storing it at storage locker. You ain't storing it at Westies. So we have here in the North Jersey tri-state area, we have a problem.
Yeah.
We don't have everybody's building these houses and these big houses. So everybody's losing space to store their equipment. These lots that were being rented out
right
are now being bought up, and apartment complexes are going up. So people are losing their yards. So if you want money, buy 3 acres, level it, and turn it into a yard, and you will make money faster than you can say Uncle Sam. Because guys will pay whatever it takes to have their equipment stored, because where are they going to store it?
And it's cheaper than hauling it back and forth.
There's money to be made in different ways.
And then you have all the equipment in one spot, and then you can charge them for servicing it while you're there. I'll grease it for you.
Hey, that's actually a brilliant idea. If you own, let's say you buy 3 acres in Jersey, right? You save up, you buy 3 acres. Put a steel, one of those airplane steel garages that take a day to put up.
One of those round half circles.
Yeah. You could do it. You could do a barn. You could do a steel barn. Have a steel barn. Save up. Get a jack. A big industrial jack that can lift the cats, that can lift the skids and stuff like that, and hire yourselves 2 mechanics. 2 diesel mechanics, 2 industrial mechanics that you can have on site. Pay them. And guess what? You charge these people, hey, listen, your stuff's at the yard. We have a mechanic shop right here.
Just out of curiosity, because I know what they're going around. What's an acre in Jersey cost?
Well,
roughly, on average. Well, you going to ask ChatGPT?
I'm going to ask ChatGPT.
Well, you do that.
What is the average cost of an acre in the state of New Jersey?
So we don't have
$142,987 on average for an acre.
That's funny. Here in
$42,000 for an acre.
Yeah. 42,000. The high end, well, in Iowa, paid 30,000 for crop acres, but that's you're getting yields and so forth. But it's a whole different thought process, like in agricultural versus where you're at. And I'm talking about the contractors here, for example, and got Interstate 70 going from Kansas City to St. Louis, and we're adding extra lanes. Big push for that. And they just come in, bought some land, built a building on it, so you have places to put their trucks and stuff. And then the landowner worked out a deal that it's his when they're done. Yeah, and but there's all types of opportunities out there is what we're getting at, and it just takes a little creativity and a little thought process. Now, 42,000. Now your rates are higher there in the Jersey area. I know, huh?
242,000.
242,000. I'm sorry, I thought you said 42,000, which I'm thinking
$242,000 for an acre. That's a used Ferrari in just grass and dirt. Yep.
And New Jersey's not the biggest state, so you got to find a place to go. Well, Andrew, it's been a pleasure talking to you today, and we were talking about what we were going to discuss, and you said, "Oh, we won't have any problems," and you're right there. We went down a couple of different rabbit holes. Before we go, is there anything you'd like to tell the listeners actually have them contact you or anything like that?
Yeah. I could plug my company, techrescue.io, 855-250-8586, 24 hours a day, tech support whenever you need it.
And when you say tech support, you mean with your phone, with your computer?
As long as you have the internet, we can get in touch with you. We take control of your computer, tablet, or phone. We fix your problems. We don't show you how to do it. We won't do that with you. We'll take care of it. We'll fix it. Done. Period. End of discussion.
Cool.
But what I want to preach as a last parting words to the guys out there that are on the yard, that are listening to the podcast when they get in the truck and stuff like that is, we know through the past 30 years or so, we've had highs and lows in the construction industry. We've had good times, we've had bad times, we've had bust times, we've had gang buster times. What I want to say is that if I can do it, and I'm just a kid from Jersey, I'm a knucklehead like the rest of them. If I can do something, you guys can do something. Now, it may not be technology. It could be the yard, greasing machines at $20 an hour. Whatever it is, a side hustle can become your hustle. And then eventually you get that momentum where you can start moving along. The biggest thing, I say this, listen, it's not going to happen, guys, unless you got to do it. You just have to bite that bullet and just start putting away. Start small. You don't have to do the big stuff right now. Just start if you open up your wallet right now and you got a 5 and a 6 and you got a 5 and a 1, put it in the coffee can. Because guess what? You can't go to McDonald's right now and get a meal at $6. You can't even go to McDonald's. I'm a big boy. I'm 250 pounds. So for me, 2 McDoubles and a McChicken and a Sprite used to be about $7. It cost me this weekend on the road $23.79 for 2 McDoubles and a McChicken and a extra large Sprite. McDonald's smash burger prices. McDonald's.
Wow.
I know it's going to suck. I know it's going to suck, boys. I know. But if you want to have something you never had before, you got to do something you've never done before. And it just starts with the small stuff. Just small. Remember when you first got into the business? You didn't know a spade from a shovel? And now look at you, grading with a laser, reading schematics, blindfolded. Yeah, it took some time. Same thing here. It took me 2 years on this. 2 years, night and day. Starting up at 6, on the job by 7, coming home, being done by 9, and cranking out maybe 1 to 3 hours of this every night and every day. On weekends, forget it. I was doing this because I knew that when it finally happened, I'm going to tell you this. There's no better feeling than going to the foreman who you can't stand and be like, yo, I'm done. Toss the helmet to him. I'm out. I don't need this no more. I'm out of here. Oh, where are you going? I'm going home, dude. I'm taking a shower and going to take a nap. The look on I promise you, you do this for yourself. The best present of the world is when you turn in your stuff and go, later, I'm out. You don't owe anybody nothing. You don't answer to anybody. That's a feeling.
Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you for having me.
No, if you all like what was going on and you want to talk about further ideas, catch Andrew in the show notes. Also, give me a shout. Also, I have a class coming up, and if you want interested in doing that, go to the show notes, and we will be happy to talk to you about how to make your business even better and get you out of that hard hat. So, again, see you later, Andrew, and go take your nap. All right.
Not yet.
All right.